How many times have people told you no? Now here's the uncomfortable thought. What if that no didn't mean refusal? What if it only meant you knocked on the wrong mental door? Today, we explain 3 psychological principles of influence. Not to control people, not to manipulate blindly, but to understand how decisions are shaped, framed, and nudged often, without us realizing it, especially the 3rd principle, because that's where everything begins. When someone says no, it doesn't always mean rejection. Sometimes it means the mind hasn't been guided toward a decision yet. Influence is not force, it is architecture. Rule 1. The double-bind illusion of choice. Most people make a critical mistake. They ask questions that allow escape. Do you want to do this? That question gives the brain a door marked no. Instead, effective influence removes the escape route without aggression. You present 2 options. Both options lead to the same outcome. For example, would you like to schedule this now? Or would later today work better? Notice what just happened. The mind is no longer deciding whether to act. It is deciding when. The sense of autonomy is preserved. The feeling of control remains, yet the direction is already set. This works because the human brain hates unresolved paths. When given limited choices, it commits to wound, especially when both feel reasonable. Stickman draws maze 2 paths, 1 exit. The person walks confidently, never realizing the walls were placed before they arrived. Rule 2, labeling in cognitive CIO and CIO humans do not defend freedom first. They defend identity. We protect the image we hold of ourselves and the image others see. This is where labeling enters before making a request. You attach a positive identity trait. For example, I've always seen you as someone who's practical and solution-oriented. This is not flattery, it's positioning. Now, the mind has a problem. If the person refuses your request, they must also reject the identity they were just given. And the brain hates internal contradiction. So what happens? To remain consistent with the label, they comply, not because they were forced, but because their ego chose coherence over resistance. Stickman draws a tag on a figure: reliable, smart, decisive. Once the label sticks, behavior follows. This is why people will work harder to protect their self-image than to protect their time, energy, or even boundaries. Rule 3, the power of silence, the dormant pressure. This is the most misunderstood principle and the most powerful. You state your request clearly, then you stop talking. No justifying, no explaining. Maintain eye contact. Maintain posture. What happens next is internal chaos. The human brain is uncomfortable with silence. It interprets it as unresolved tension. Thoughts accelerate. Anxiety rises. The mind searches for the fastest way to end the discomfort, and the fastest way is agreement. Okay, sure, let's do it. Not because they were convinced by logic, but because silence applied pressure without aggression. Stickman. Stand still. The other figure shifts fixed, speaks. First, whoever breaks the silence surrenders control of the moment. Silence is not empty, it is weight. Now listen. Carefully understanding these principles gives power, and power demands responsibility. Influence should never be used to harm, deceive, or strip someone of informed choice. These mechanisms already shape advertising, negotiations, social media, and everyday conversations. Learning them is not about domination, it's about awareness. When you recognize the architecture, you can choose a hand whether to walk through it. Every conversation is a board. Every word is a move. The question is not whether influence exists. The question is, are you playing consciously, or are you already a piece on the board? Think carefully and choose wisely.